Hey guys, Kevin Smock with Smock Knives. Hey, just wanted to do a quick video on my dust collection system. I put in a grinding room in my garage here, and I posted a couple of pictures on Instagram, and guys have been asking me questions about it, so I figured I would just do a quick video. Now, it's not complete, it's not done yet, but I'll do a update video later when everything's finished. First thing, for the grinding room, I put in this. It's one of those separators. It's mostly used for like coolers and that kind of stuff at meat packing places, refrigeration. It's to keep the cold and the hot air, while I'm using it to keep the dust out. So I got this, I think it was like 75 bucks off of eBay. Comes with all of these slats, and then it also comes with the mounting bracket on the top to keep it. And it works pretty good. Keeps all the dust in there, and I can just push through it. I actually really like it. So that's the one thing I wanted to show you. Now, the dust collection system. I've had a dust deputy hooked up to a shop vac forever, and it just wasn't cutting it. I was breathing in crap, and it was pretty easy to tell that I was, because I was coughing up stuff, and half the time I just didn't turn it on. But I wanted to do something a little bit better, and another knife maker I got a hold of, Van Barnett. Check him out on Instagram. Great guy, and he kind of helped walk me through some of this process of what I should use and what I shouldn't use and that kind of thing. So the first thing we got going on here is we just got a regular house heating, air conditioning, ducting vent on here, and that's pretty much what I used for most of this. Was steel. I didn't want to use PVC pipe because I've seen way too many knife makers, with a post of their PVC piping caught on fire. I don't want to deal with that crap. So this is the way I hook this up, and most guys for a water bucket have a 5-gallon bucket. And what I don't like about that is it puts the input and the output so close together, because it's not very big. Doesn't give a good chance for the sparks to hit the water. A lot of times they can just turn and get sucked right back up and out. So this way, I used one of these totes, and I think I got this at Lowe's. It separates them a little bit further apart, so it gives it more chance for all the sparks to go down and hit the water. This also means that I can see my water level. I can see if it needs more water, which it doesn't at the moment, but you can see that. You can tell when it needs changed and whatnot. And I can also see if the sparks are jumping and going over to the output area. And they're not. But that's one good way to be able to see. In a 5-gallon bucket, you can't tell what's going on. So we went from there. And then this is a heavier duty flex hose. It's meant for dryers, so it's dryer ducting, and I used it because I didn't want the real thin stuff, but I wanted it to be able to flex. That way I could move this in and out or whatever if I needed to, and also when I want to change this bucket out, it's easy to take off, and that's not attached. Then I just have a dipping bucket here for dipping blades in. Then it comes up here, and I've got a T on here, and I plan on adding another line coming over to my horizontal grinder. I haven't got that far yet. Like I said, the system's not done, but I just wanted to give you, that's really not important. You just I need to put a gate valve here and a gate valve here, and then I can switch between whichever one I want to run. And your system will be different, whatever works for you. This is a Nordfab spark arrestor. Now granted, I am being way overly cautious because I've got several different things that are here to kill sparks. but I just want to make sure. And normally I think these things are like $400, but I got this one used on eBay for dirt cheap, and so I just kind of lucked out. I might not have bought it if it wasn't for the fact that I got such a good deal on it, but I did. So put it in the system, can't hurt anything. You know, if I'm doing steel or titanium, no sparks are getting past the water. But just in case something gets past that is, you know, like black Timascus or something, I just wanted to have a double check. And then it's got a thing on here so you can take it apart and clean it if you need to. Then the next thing is, you know, I had that little dust deputy, and that wasn't going to cut it on this system. And they have larger dust deputies, but all the ones I could find were plastic, and I didn't really like that idea. So I looked on eBay, and they have these. They are metal, larger. You know, it's made for a 2 horsepower, 1.5 to 2 horsepower dust collection system, 4-inch input and output. Also, this one came with a steel bucket on the bottom that's detachable. Also has a window in it. So this is steel. So if a spark does get through the whole way down here and it ends up in this bucket, there'll be a little bit of water in this bucket in the bottom, and I shouldn't have to worry about anything. Even if it were to smolder a little bit, I'm sure I would smell smoke way before, you know, the steel can melted or whatever. So feel pretty good about that. And then this is just a Harbor Freight 2 horsepower dust collector system. You know, use your 20% off coupon, and you can get that knocked down to 160 something out the door. Pretty good deal. Works good. I don't have any complaints on it, other than the filter that came with it that was just rubbish. So what I did is I did this modified system, and there's several YouTube videos up of guys doing this, so I kind of just followed what they did for the most part. And I used a lot of scrap pieces of wood and stuff that I already had sitting around, so it's not as pretty as it could have been, but I didn't really care. I was just using what I had on hand. So it goes from there to this. And you got to put a cap on the top and the bottom, and the one on the top is just, you know, it's just solid. And I got this is like Windshield weather stripping. You can get it off of eBay. I think it was like 1/8 to 5/8, something like that. And it just pushes down on this lip the whole way around, the top and the bottom. I still have got to get a clamp. You know, I've got a couple of ideas how I'm going to keep this down because it's just sitting on there right now. So I just put this wood clamp in here for now. It's not going to be permanent that way, but it works for the moment. Then the bottom piece, you're going to want to cut a round hole in the center of it, and you're going to need a filter. So everything that's coming through the system that, you know, doesn't get caught down here, which is going to be, you know, 90% of everything, especially from this grinder, then everything else is going to get caught here. And with this T over here, I'm not going to have a water bucket on everything, just this big grinder. So the horizontal grinder is not going to have a water bucket, but it might have some sparks, so that's why I wanted that. And then I'm going to have other things like my bandsaw hooked up, maybe a floor sweep, and all that kind of stuff. So there's still going to be a lot of crap coming through here. And that's this is going to filter that out, and most of that junk, you know, bandsaw, blade, shavings, floor sweep, horizontal grinder, all that kind of stuff is going to end up in here. This is for the fine particles. Now, if you're doing metal and you use one of those bag filters that the Harbor Freight comes with, that's not going to filter out the really fine stuff, which is really what you don't want to be breathing. The stuff that ends up on the floor, the heavier stuff that isn't floating around in the air, that you're not breathing that in. That's not what you need to worry about. You need to worry about that fine crap that, you know, if you're ever curious, turn your lights off and turn a flashlight on, and you'll see all the stuff that's floating around in the air. That's the stuff that you need to be cautious about, because that's what gets in your lungs and screws you up. So this is a HEPA filter, and I don't remember how far microns it goes down to, but it's one of the best ones. And this is supplied, who makes this is Wynn Environmental. Check them out. They also have a YouTube video on their website that's linked that shows kind of how to do all this. That was very helpful. I don't remember the guy's name that did the YouTube video, but it was very helpful. So then at the bottom of this is a screw-on lid that you can get at Lowe's or Home Depot, and they give you instructions. You got to cut the center of it out and get some clips to clip this thing on to this filter. Then you just screw your bucket on. So when this filter needs cleaned, you can just kind of pound on it, and a lot of dust and debris and stuff will go down into the bottom, or you can sweep the inside of it out. But this is kind of just like a collection bucket for the dust that ends up falling and not coming out through here. Now granted, the stuff that's going to get here is going to be so fine that I don't think there's going to be a lot falling down into that bucket, but I needed to seal the system off so that the air is coming out through here and not just out through the hole that's in the bottom of this filter. So I don't really think that thing's ever, it's never going to get full, but at least it's there to plug the end. So far it has been working, from what I can tell, really good. No sparks are getting anywhere, and that's great, and that was kind of the whole point of the system. And here in a second I will show you a little demonstration of the sparks going down in here, but I think the mail person's here. Alright, sorry, I'm back. Okay, so we're going to kick this on. And it is quite noisy in this little room. I gotta say that. I'm going to turn the grinder on. So as you can see, sorry I couldn't really talk because it was just too noisy. So you can see all the sparks were going down and hitting in there, and they weren't getting sucked up over there, which is kind of the point. But when you're using a 5-gallon bucket, you really can't see that. You don't know how far to be up away from the water, because if you're too close, it'll start to suck the water up through, which you don't want to do. This way I can see where my level's at, I can see if the sparks are getting through or not, and they're not. So, should be pretty safe system. Fingers crossed. I bought some fire extinguishers just in case. But that's pretty much it, guys. Dust collection system as of right now. And once I get it updated and I get another line over here hooked up to my AMK horizontal and everything else that I need to get it hooked up to, I'll do a update video. And if you're not aware, I need to do a full video on it, and I haven't yet, but I will. Spyderco is releasing a collaboration with me. It's called the Spyderco Smock. They showed it at SHOT Show. I'm hoping to see it at Blade Show. I don't have a ton of information about it right at the moment. If you check out my Instagram page, I did get a sample of it and posted some images and pictures and videos of it on Instagram. Like I said, as soon as I'm able to, I will do a YouTube video on it. But check it out. Some places are already taking pre-orders for it. And it's a really cool knife. So it's based off of my SK23. So it's a button release compression lock, which as far as I know, it's the only one out there. And it's a really cool knife. So check it out, guys. Greatly appreciate your support, and the shop's doing good. Got lots going on. Just paid for a whole bunch of water jetting to get done. SK23s, SK45s, some axes that I want to do for blade show. Whole bunch of stuff all lined up over there that I'm going to try and put out this month. So lots going on, guys. Again, I'll do an update video on the dust collector when it's done. And again, go check out the Spyderco Smock. Should be out soon, I hope. And hope you guys enjoy it. And that's it. Thanks, guys. Later.